No idea. That's
no
true.
idea. I mean, it was incredible.
That's true.
My sister would be standing like that, and somebody would call for my dad or mom or something like that. Yeah, right here. Had my sister the phone. It's not for her. Hello. Hang on. Just like
you'd be intolerable.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
You'd be intolerable.
That was fun stuff.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, sir. This is Recovery Tuesday. Rebound. Round mound to rebound. Charles Barkley Tuesday. This is the Old School crew. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman. We are live in effect, 1040 O Street. Awesome day here in Lincoln. 80 degrees, about 8 miles an hour of wind. We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andromat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. We got about 10 minutes here before we jump into some Husker audio from the coordinators and possibly players. When we ended the show yesterday, DP said that, just mentioned, I said he's had 3 different lives with the Washington Redskins football team and the Commanders. Or Washington Redskins and the Commanders 3 different times. Now it's a little bit indirectly because he obviously owns the radio station and was playing the Commanders last night. And now we have the day after Jaden Daniels and company ran ramshot over the Bengals on national TV on Monday Night Football. How does that feel? Are you officially back? Are you officially back? That's what we want to know. Are you really officially back? Or are you just going to just hold out for more like NIL money?
I know my worth. I got a call from several former players, several alumni, whose names were in RFK Stadium, right? And they're in FedEx Field. And they said, "You back or not?" And I kind of felt like if you have to ask, you don't know.
Yeah, but they want to know because they've been waiting for you.
They want me to come back. They want me to come back for Pittsburgh, Washington, and they want that. There's something in the works, right? They're trying to get, all right, DP, let's get you back in the pool. Like let's make this right. Except for the things that got me out of the portal, got me into the portal, I'm still not sure they're cleaned up. So I can root for DC. I can root for all my DC fans and family. I root for all my people.
Mm.
I can root for Jaden Daniels and McLaurin, right? I can root for them. I can root for the Magic Man.
Yeah. They got a new owner.
Commitment is real to me. So, no, not fully back yet.
That's ridiculous.
I'm proud of them.
I'm
proud of
ridiculous.
them. I'm proud of them. I'm proud.
That's utterly ridiculous.
Hey, if you and here's the thing: if they ever have a remake of DC, the song, that might do it. Like if they ever got the band to just fully go and officially record it, that might be hype enough for me to believe that they're doing all the right things.
So that performance
they
last night.
They beat a winless team last night.
Well, they made them win. They made them winless. Continue the winless streak, though. You cannot minimize what they did last night. You cannot.
I don't.
You got to think they reshaped that organization on the move in a matter of months and represented the DMV on national TV on Monday night, not never before, but easily one of the best representations, offense, defense, and special teams in a long, long time. They looked good. They looked well coached.
Did they look good defensively to you?
Considering who they're going against?
Yeah.
Yes, because you go into a game. I'm telling you this as a defensive player going into the game when you have two really good receivers, two really and potentially three really good tight ends. And up until Brown got hurt, an offensive line that you knew that they're going to do not much in the running game, and that Joe Burrow and those guys are going to push the ball. You know that they're going to make some plays. You know that they're too good at offense not to make some. They're going to make some plays, and they're heavy in the pass game.
If you were,
they looked a lot better. I'll tell you this: they looked a lot better defensively than I thought they would be.
If you were linebacker 1A for Washington,
Well, they got Bobby Wagner over there, so
okay,
I'd be 1B.
1B. Would you prefer to have the two gentlemen that they let go of?
I would prefer to have one of them.
At least one of them.
No, there's only one. Chase Young, I'm not sold on. Chase Young, we talked to the San Francisco beat writer at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we
Part
did.
of the reason when she said that they have had issues with effort, he was in that. So no, I wouldn't want to. But part of the reasons that they got Daniels DP, a quarterback for real, is they had to get rid of. But well, they didn't have to get rid of both of them, but they saved some money and was able to go out and really, really get good quality players for all that money and get return. And they drafted well.
They are better. That part. The draft is the thing that moved the needle more for me.
I just can't believe it's still up for discussion.
Well,
I mean that's just quite. I'm just saying.
I'm
not gonna lie to you,
Jay. You know that.
I'm just saying.
Look, you couldn't convince me to be a Bills fan with all the swag and all the hype. You couldn't pull me.
That's because you were still berating the Bills from losing 4 Super Bowls. And we won't say who called the Music City Miracle, and we were in 15 years of depth of hell, and we drafted J.P. Lawson, and we drafted my man from Florida State. It just did not work. But when you look at what they did with the Commanders, you know what's crazy? Maybe I should ask you. I want to ask you this. You know they had to change the name from the Redskins, right? Mm-hmm. But did you read the article where the last living descendant from the tribe of the Redskins, he wants it back.
Yeah.
He wants them to be called the Redskins again. Yeah. What is your feeling on that?
I don't think it matters.
Well, I know it. Well, no, I'm just saying as a, you know what I mean?
So
I know it's not going to change anything because I know it gets into things outside of football.
Right.
But it's interesting that, and I don't know if there's a financial reason or whatever, but I think that it's pretty interesting because it just came out the week of when they're about to play on Monday Night Football.
So the story is that the person that the image of the old Redskin franchise, his family, 3 generations later, spoke out and said, "Hey, we'd be fine if this was being used again." And I understand it because I'm never going to tell any family how to feel about their name. But they're not using their name. They're using the image, which is a thing that we know that.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Right, a little bit different, right?
It's a little different.
And
it's a lot different.
And what's done with it and who was doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot has to do with
who was doing
with Daniel Snyder.
Right, who was doing it.
And that's why I asked you.
And what was being used, and having been in a lot of those rooms, there were actually, the depth of it is, Jay, that they had panels and meetings with family leaders of different cultures, leaders of different factions, different families. And in those meetings, the things that were said is what really moved the needle. And then you can go back and say, if that person wants it, that didn't speak for other nations that were feeling the ramifications of what was being done and how it was being used. Yeah. So whatever way they feel about it, my thing was, you have the English language has every word available for you to use.
And if it doesn't, you can make a new one.
Right. And use, right. And literally pick one that people will not have
such
that
a
sort of reaction to, and then make your money off of it, because every time you rebrand it, you make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Every single time. From the Washington Football Club to the Commanders. Even then, you're still making just hand over fist money. And you could have chosen anything. 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 And you chose the thing you continue. And the people who are fighting for it, fight for it. That's fine how you feel about it. Nobody's telling. But it's, I would imagine that going from Cornhusker, from Bug Eater, and etc., that the same kind of conversations, there are people that love what they love, even going from Cornhusker to Husker.
Yeah.
And being specific. Look, we saw the drama of changing the hand placement of Herbie to the type of overalls and the hairstyle of Herbie. And if you don't understand that there are people who just aren't going to like change, any change, then you understand what's going on in D.C.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, but there's a lot good, though. I mean,
I
38-33 on the road.
I loved last night. I loved what it did to that community because, again, my phone blew up and there was on phone several calls. And the conversation about the play call, the throw, and the catch by McLaurin.
It's bigger than just that.
Yeah. Like that was a generational throw and catch at the highest level. You can't name, I can think of 3 rookies maybe who made that type of throw in that type of moment. That route, that is a throw that is practiced and practiced and repped and repped, and still people can't make it in just regular moments of the game.
Right.
In the most critical moment of the game.
On the road.
On the road with a defender with his helmet in your chest. You threw a dart.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm asking why you're not on the back on the back.
I'll tell you privately what it'll take, because it's not a public thing. It is a private thing of the business that goes on behind the scenes.
If Jay Foreman goes to Utah, will you be a Commanders fan again?
That would do it. That would so tell me that the universe is in line. That would tell me that, you know,
man,
what?
What's there to do in Utah, man?
Everything. Everything.
No, there ain't.
Everything. Everything.
Boy, Kansas State went up there. They put Kansas State under a spell up there in Provo.
I even watched.
You make me scared.
As soon as the Commanders game ended, well, it wasn't as soon as, when they got to the third period, I was watching Utah hockey last night. Their first preseason home game.
Mm.
And they too are having name issues. Because, again, even in Utah, you think that they can get uniform and no, man. There's one part of the population that likes Utah Hockey Club. There's some that want Yeti. Some want the Grizzlies, but the Grizzlies already exist. They're fighting over names the same way everybody else fights over everything else. So, it's I think.
Oh, we got action,
Jay. If you're willing,
we got action.
Okay.
Hold on. We have right here a update on Steve Peterson. Steve Peterson, sports management advisor, holds 20 years of experience. He's a advisor at Barnes and Thornburg LLP. Where is that? He's on faculty member. That's a business?
Wasn't that a former thing? I didn't know that was current.
It is a law firm in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Okay. I'm lucky enough. It's the thing.
2 more winnable games, DP, and then you play prime time. Then you play prime. So you go. Now this is great though, because we just were talking about it.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels against Pocket Hercules.
Yep.
I'm gonna be so hyped about that game. I cannot wait. It's on Fox.
This is big.
They're gonna go out there and beat Pocket Hercules. Did you see Pocket Hercules this weekend?
Yes, we did.
He threw with his eyes closed. He
Running
literally had,
like he stole the cotton candy off the living room
he
table.
He run like a little kid that stole his mom's cell phones running around.
He got mom's purse.
Yeah, mom's purse. Yeah. Then they play Cleveland, and then they play at Baltimore October 13th.
Baltimore will tell me more of what will answer the question. So we're 3 weeks out. I'll revisit it 3 weeks out. If I tell you what, but they have to beat Arizona, because that tells me that some of the systemic things that you say, how do you handle success?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That will tell me whether the Commanders
on a short week,
did you go and do you have the things in place to do right? This week at Arizona will tell me a lot. Baltimore will tell me some things that in that backyard brawl, you could watch Nebraska go undefeated in basketball, but it is when they play Creighton that you get a real picture.
Yeah, because that game's serious.
Right? So when Baltimore and Washington play, and you have those two quarterbacks going after it, and then the flaws that both of them have away from it, that will tell me that will make my heart warm in a whole kind of way.
All right, we need them back.
Yeah,
we're going all Page in the Redskins.
Yeah,
this dude right here, 86-33. You off the chains. Hey, we go like the names for the Utah hockey team. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll jump back into some
the Utah
Husker.
but that so you understand the joke. The texter said the Utah polygamists.
Yeah.
But somebody pitched the polys
for Polynesian.
For the Polynesian and the polygamists.
Yeah.
And they then the argument was over what the logo would be.
Yeah.
And none of the answers were good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet. I can only
none
imagine.
of the answers were good.
I guarantee you, all the answers were emailed in from anonymous emails. You know they track emails and stuff up there in Utah. Anyways, Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll take a quick break. Be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $437 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004120, 437 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 5,500 due with signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 9/30/2024. See dealer for details.
HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
College football season is back, and you can hear the top games all year long here on 93.7 The Ticket. This week, we have a doubleheader for you as teams battle for conference supremacy. Starting at 11 a.m. in the Big 12, Ollie Gordon and number 20 Oklahoma State heads to Manhattan, Kansas to take on Avery Johnson and the 23rd-ranked Kansas State Wildcat. Then at 6 p.m., we head to the SEC, where Carson Beck and the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs head to Tuscaloosa to take on Jalen Milroe and the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's OK State and Kansas State at 11 a.m. and Georgia, Alabama at 6 p.m. Catch the action on the gridiron all season long here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, DP Austin, second segment. Coming off the potential buyback in of DP back to the Commanders, but
beat Arizona. That's what I say. Same way I said beat Purdue.
That is true. We'll get into that too.
Listen, same pool. Same pool.
yeah.
Same pool. You want me in?
Got some yesteryears.
Want me in? And I'm perfectly fine with sitting on the perimeter. But if you want me in, and there are people who don't care whether I'm in or not. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean,
hey, Jay,
yeah.
You ready to do this? Before we get into yours.
Let's
break another pack open. We're going to give a pack away.
All right.
So these are the Husker NIL.
This is a great idea.
Game cards. And you can have
it's a great idea.
Either the pack that Jay's opening or a pack that is not open, but I have a trivia question that you have to answer on the text line, on the Starter Heyman text line. If you're ready for this. My question is, who leads the Huskers all time in interceptions? Who leads the Huskers? Jay, what are the cards? What do you got in there? What's the sample? What do you got? Give me some names.
Isaiah Nair.
Look at them, and you could just hear the Googling going on.
Ty Robinson, Malcolm Hartzog, Derek Wacker, Nash, Hutmaker, excuse me, Polar Bear, Grant Surgeon, Quentin Ives. Oh, he's not here anymore, is he? Okay. Henry.
Jay just cut the man.
No, I didn't.
He just cut the dude.
Henry Latowski.
Huh?
Deshaun Singleton. Danny Pascal. Gunnar Gatula. This is a good Dante Dowdell. Another Ty Robinson.
Nice.
And Brock Knudsen. That's a nice little packet or a nice little get right there.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
Text line, you didn't went from like 1 to 12.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Dang, no, listen, Josh and Davey, negative. JT and B, no. WIB,
great appreciation for people who did not Google it.
This dude.
I have mad respect.
I like David M, though.
I have mad respect for the people who did not Google.
I think I know who it is.
He said Farley. That's really good. That's really good. I will say this, that and again, a lot of times for these trivia questions, it's educational for me, that the all-time career interceptions leader for the Huskers had 14 interceptions in his career. To give you some idea that some of the people that were named, the top 10, of the top 10, only 2 were named. That Fabian Washington, Ralph Brown, Tyrone Bird, Larry, is it Wachholtz? 1964 to 1966 he had 11 interceptions.
I think we have Tom on the phone. Tom, are you calling in with a potential answer to the trivia question?
I am.
Tom,
All right, who is it, Tom?
Tom, hook us up. Who you got?
Well, I'm guessing here, but I'm going to go with Fabian Washington.
Fabian Washington had 11. Good guess. The leader had 14. 14 interceptions. Well done. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate that.
No.
That's a good. That at 12 is Brett Clark, a name that we do not hear about.
Brett
much.
Clark was cold-blooded.
Nathan Gary is second, tied for second.
Well, how many?
He has 13. Do you know who?
Nate Gary had 13 interceptions?
13 interceptions.
Go ahead, Nate. Nate Dawg.
There's a brother, an actual brother.
Oh, it's one of the Bullocks.
Yeah. Josh Bullock, the brothers.
John or Alex?
Because he had like 10 in 1 year.
Josh Bullock had 13 interceptions from 2002 to 2004. And the all-time leader, and it is not a name that I hear much about, but Dana Stevenson. Dana Stevenson had, from 1967 to 1969, had 14 interceptions.
So who is it?
It's Dana Stevenson.
What was Bullock?
Bullock is second with 13. Yeah.
I see no correct answers on the
Yeah,
table.
There was one, but I
there's
guarantee
one.
you
he Googled though.
I guarantee.
Where's he at?
Rubber Duck, tell us, did you Google that? Or, wait, no, he guessed twice, so he's disqualified. He guessed twice. If he had left his first one there, I would have gave it to him.
Nobody got that.
Brutal.
Man,
That's a nice little
trust
pack of cards.
yourself, Rubber Duck. Trust yourself. All right, we'll come up with another trivia question. Actually, I have one. If you're okay, you want to go ahead and just finish it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So last night, Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow played each other on Monday Night Football. 2 Heisman Trophy winners for LSU. Who leads LSU in passing yards all time? Who leads LSU? Austin, do you have a guess?
Bobby Abear.
Who leads?
Does LSU ever had a good quarterback besides them two?
To me, the funny answer is Jamarcus Russell.
It's funny. What if I told you? Okay, so I'll give you Jamarcus Russell is 5th. Jaden Daniels is 4th. Jeff Wickersham is 3rd. Joe Burrow is 2nd.
Shaquille O'Neal.
No, Shaq Daddy did not lead them.
Chris Jackson.
No. Mockman. Mockman.
Who is it?
And here's the thing.
Where Matt Flynn?
If you tell me,
Is it Matt Flynn?
no,
Is it Hudson?
it's Tommy Hodson.
Hudson. That's it. Gino got it.
Well, Derek in the car got it, but
Derek in the car got it.
I'm
My bad.
asking either of them. Be honest. Did you Google it or did you know? Because Tommy Hodson is not a name that rolls off the tongue.
I never heard of him before you just said his name.
When
did he play?
The truth. Tell me the truth and let me know. Text line, do you think they Googled or no?
Oh, Gino said that's his college years.
That didn't answer the question.
So he's telling you he didn't Google.
He didn't. He told that you had. Yeah, okay. Tell me the truth now, Gino.
Derek in the car is still winning.
Ted says he Googled.
It don't matter if you Googled. You got the answer
I'm willing
right.
to believe Gino. Those were formative years there. I mean, he didn't pull that rating.
Hey, man. It don't matter.
It.
It don't matter if you Googled. You answered. You asked the question. He got the answer.
All right, Derek in the car. We will give you
Congratulations, Derek.
We'll give you the pack that Jay Foreman opened. Yeah, what I had Ray said that might have been too fast to Google. Well, he says I never lie.
Well, he said he Googled. Yeah, I mean it's. I didn't even think about both of those quarterbacks last night. Went to LSU, and the crazy thing about it, they both won Heisman's, but they both didn't originally go to LSU.
But here's the thing. So 8934 says yes, they Googled it, but ask a question someone knows. You're Husker fans. How do you not know who the leading interceptor is all time?
Well, I'm a former Husker, and I ain't know.
Right.
I thought for sure it was Bullocks.
Right.
But I also didn't know that Fabian Washington had that many interceptions.
Fabian had that many, and then it is pretty interesting. There are some great ones. There's some great trivia questions in the pool. So, you know what? I got another pack here. I got one, Jay. Real quick. I got another one. I got a good one. I'm going to throw it down to Austin. Right?
Hey, our very own Kenny Wilhite was up there too.
Yeah.
He only played a year and a half.
Here's another one.
And
Y'all
Kenny
ready?
used to play quarterback. That's the funny thing about it.
Since this is a Husker.
I'll blown Kenny up.
This
no, just play. I know he's listening. That's what I was saying.
This one is, I know, right? This is a Husker question.
All right.
And again, we're going to trust that you don't Google, but I know you're going to. Don't Google.
I want to Google.
Don't Google. Ready for this?
What?
Who has the highest per punt average with a minimum of 50 punts for the Huskers? Greatest punting average. Greatest.
I think I have a good name. I think I know this. Is it in my era when I play?
It is
90s? Late 90s?
Late 90s.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Late 90s.
We used to call him the weatherman.
Late 90s.
My man,
Good pull.
My man studied the weather report like no other.
It is not Sam Cooke.
I thought he was going to be on channel 8 or 10.
It is not Brett Maher.
I know who this is.
It is not Kyle Larson. Larson is third. Yeah, this is why I'm going to trigger the brains of the smart people. It is not Erstad. It is not Darren Erstad.
The pack for the winner contains Malachi Coleman, Heinrich Harburg, Malachi Coleman again, Sua Lafotu, AJ Rollins, Stephon Thompson, Eric Ingwerson, Roman Mangini, Tristan Alvano, Keelan Smith, Gage Stenger, Amari Sanders, Teddy Prohaska, and Dwight Boodle II.
Are any of those signed?
No. You have two different Malachi Coleman cards. One of them says athlete on it on the front. It looks like this.
It is not Lightborn. It is not Bennett. It is not Titchener.
I know who it is.
See? There we go, Jay Foreman. I asked the one they should know. Jay Foreman will give the answer. You got timeout break.
DeWitt got it.
No.
It's not him?
No.
Well, then I'm wrong then.
You ready for this? We will draw the line. Not Scott Landata. We will draw the line and come up with another question. The correct answer with a 44.5 average from 1997 to 2000. Dan Haydenfeld.
Man. I was thinking about him, and I couldn't get the name.
Sam Cooke was 44. Haydenfeld was 44.5.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, and he was a hell of an athlete too.
Yeah.
I was already kind of pretty much gone there.
See, Austin, I gave him a Husker question.
I thought it was Jesse
and they couldn't
Cush.
get it. They couldn't. I gave them two Husker questions, and they still had to Google.
Hey,
I'm coming up with one more after
I thought it was Jesse Cush 100%.
Man.
Book it.
See, I'm not even from here. He said, you don't even go to school here.
Watch
Man.
Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through September 24th is spend $50, get one center cut ribeye for free, limit of one. Also, $1 off all honey. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. Trivia time. We got one more. It's a good
Jay,
one too.
Which one of those?
The kick, their return yards.
Okay. Who leads the Huskers all time in kick return yards? In kick returns. Yardage for kick returns. Yardage for kick returns. It is not DeMornay. Nope. Y'all be messing DPE's name up.
It's nothing personal, except it's personal.
Yeah, it's for real. It is not DeMornay. It is not Rozier. It is not Rodgers. Kick returns. It's not Frosty Anderson. I love the fact that y'all are going deep with this. Not Dana Brinson. Brinson is in the top 5. Niles Paul is number 2. Gross is not it. Nate Swift is not it. Kenny Hill is not it. Rex is not it. Hughes is not it. Fryer is not it. Abdullah is not it. Yeah, Jay, you had a perfect description of him. Corey
Jay got
Ross.
it right off the rip, too.
Yeah, Corey Ross is not it. It is not Brinson. It is not Johnny, not Newcomb, not Kenny Bell, not Craver. Jay Foreman, give him a hint.
His dad played for the Huskers in the 70s.
His dad
also, I think, played in the pros for San Diego. And his dad also has, I think he's the running back where it has that like picture where there it is. Somebody got it. Was it 46?
Is that touchdown, Tommy? Touchdown.
Where he kind of goes over. I think they were in the bowl game.
The
That's
first
him.
one to actually get it in full, they got both names, is 1638. 1638 got
Yeah, it was
both
Josh
of
Davis.
them. It was Josh Davis.
I remember watching the game. I was like, this is what Nebraska came to. You got the fullback returning kicks. Then I was like, oh, he can run a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He was fast too. So
yeah,
and he wore that big neck roll even when he was running back.
He had 2,265 return yards from 2000 to 2003. Niles Paul is second with 1887. Amir Abdullah third with 1592. Tyrone Hughes fourth. Kenny Bell five.
Nice little group to be in.
Hey man.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, anyways, we're up against.
We learned them a little bit.
I hear. We're up against the clock, and we're gonna go to a quick break. We will be live, or the Royals will be live starting at 5 o'clock on radio, and we're gonna flip it over to the stream. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Fox KFXL weather, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few showers are possible this morning, but we'll see mostly sunny skies this afternoon and a high around 79. Tonight, mostly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 52. And tomorrow, we'll see lots of sunshine and light winds with an afternoon high around 81. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
With a wide variety of menu options, including the best prime and Wagyu steaks in Lincoln, if you haven't been to Tavern 180, you're missing out. Try any of their steak options paired with one of their well-known martinis, and this will soon become your favorite date night spot. Call your friends for a casual get-together where steak, shrimp, chicken, and tasty cocktails await your arrival. Tavern 180, located next door to Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
IT issues wreaking havoc on your day?
It's time to hire the experts. It's time to hire Hamilton. When it comes to your business, you don't have time to worry about network security, data backup, and protection, or support when devices slow down or stop working. At Hamilton, we ensure that your technology is up to speed and works as hard as you do. Don't let IT issues slow you down. You deserve better. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, live on the stream? Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andromat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. If you didn't hear before, the Royals are about to get it on here at 5 live. They are hot and heavy into the playoff race or potentially make it into the playoffs. So make sure if you're listening to the radio live, tune in to 93.7 The Ticket, like always. But then if you're on the stream, you get a little bit of bonus time. We can go as long or as short as we want, but obviously, as we alluded to at the beginning of the show, we're going to get into a little bit of it today. I guess Tuesday is the coordinator audio. Monday's usually the head coach, and Tuesday is the coordinators. And obviously, with the game on Friday and the weekend off, people have been waiting to see or to hear what was being said. So, what do we got first, Austin?
I assume you want Tony White first. Right? Defense.
Sure.
Always.
Yeah, always.
Here's Tony White taking responsibility for a lot of the stuff that happened, especially down near the goal line.
That's 100% on me. The guys will tell you that's on them and all that stuff, but that's on me. They had a really good goal line scheme. We didn't show them where they run out to the line of scrimmage, and they had the big body, and then he was going back and forth between 75 and 94, and didn't spot him, so didn't cover him on the 4th and 2. Should have been our ball. And then on the goal line, they ran up and they hid their wide receiver right up behind the center, and then they snuck him out there. And Gift saw him, and he got picked. So again, good scheme by them. Did not show them all the trickeration down there in the goal line. So when that stuff happens, the first person to blame is myself. For not showing them that exact look, but. It's now how are we going to respond to those things, because you put it on tape, so now you're going to see that kind of stuff. So you can bet we're working on that stuff.
Yeah, it was the tackle eligible play. Actually goes all the way back to last year against Wisconsin. Wisconsin did that against Nebraska, I think. And I wasn't. The rules and the pros, it doesn't really matter. You just got to obviously wipe your chest, as we saw with Detroit and Dallas. And then you're eligible, so it doesn't matter the numbers. And obviously in college you have to switch jerseys. And you got to give it up to Tony White to, I guess I wouldn't say falling on the sword, taking the responsibilities. The one I was more interested in was more or less the one that they scored at the north end. That was probably like trick plays and trying to catch you by surprise and pick plays. You tip your hat, and that's like, all right, you got us. You kind of fooled us. You fooled us twice. But the one that was probably more concerning or not concerning. The one I was more interested in was the one that where they threw it to the tight end on the 7-cut, or which is, if you don't know what a 7-cut is, it's just a corner route. You just go up, then obviously go to the back pylon. I don't think he covered that one. And so that was that was definitely a lack of communication, spatial awareness, X, Y, and Z. One with the pick, I don't even think you could just say you just got. They should have probably called it a legal pick because it was actually a real pick. It wasn't a ghost route. So a ghost route, what happens in a lot of on those plays, you'll see it this weekend. You'll see it in the pros. They'll run right at you like they're going to pick you or block you and then keep going to kind of slow you down, get your eyes all confused. The guy from Illinois just straight up picked him.
Something else Tony White talked about was the edge, right? Emotionally, was it the same against Illinois? We said not. Here's Tony White's interpretation of the energy.
That's why they went out there today and wanted to compete. That was the thing. And again, I know there's a lot to it, but I put it on myself because you're calling the game in the first half and you're telling them, hey, you guys ain't gonna run the ball, and they're not running the ball. I mean, they're not running the ball. It was really the third downs that kept the flipping the field and kept them on there and all the plays and stuff after that first drive touchdown. And then, you change it and say, hey, let me go after the quarterback a little bit more, and all those seams open up. And now you're like, okay, now you're kind of playing chess with the guy and stuff like that. So, half of that is on me, and then half of it is making sure that, again, we put those guys in those positions to go make plays, and that we got to give them the confidence to go out there and play, man. They're not going to always be 100%, but the prideful thing about that is guys play so damn hard and so damn physical that they make up for those errors. And just didn't feel like that chip on the shoulder, that edge was there like that. So
do you find yourself, is it more the result or is it the setup that you game study more? So first touchdown to the left end of the stadium, to the north end. There was conversation earlier about whether that is one where Singleton should help, or whether there's some expectation of just single coverage all the way up to, the whole wide receiver.
Is that the one where Bullock had the guy in the flat and the guy was wide open? That was the one you're talking about?
Yeah, he was. Well, he literally ran. It was Tommy. In the
that one ain't got nothing to do. That's you got to cover.
Yeah. Okay. So it is that. There's no other. You didn't miss a scheme. You didn't miss anything. You don't expect help. If you get it, great, but you're not expecting.
Yeah, you never play. There's one thing I learned though. You never when you're in man-to-man defense or any type of zone that's pretty much a man. Cover 3, cover 4. You got a guy out there. If it's 6, if it, in cover 4 or cover 6 is a combination of 2 and 4. You can run cover 8, whatever it is. You stick him.
And with there being no other receivers on that half of the field, isolated on purpose, with a safety sitting at.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at it and see what the coverage is. But like I said, I know from my experience, I can't speak for anybody else. If I'm in that situation, last thing I'm gonna do is let you catch it, or at least give you an easy catch.
Yeah. It looked.
The easy thing to do is like, I got safety help. Well, dang, a lot of times if you depend on safety help, you ain't gonna get it. Right? You're just not. That's just I've been in plenty of defenses, and this was the most frustrating thing about Vic Fangio, and I think he had to learn this by getting let go and going to coach under a coordinator at Baltimore, was you can't leave players out to dry if they don't actually have the help. You got to play different. You got to play actually from a second level. You have to play everything top down. You can't play underneath with you trying to run with Dallas Clark, with you trying to run with Derek Mason from a second level. It just won't work out. I mean, if you could expect safety help, sure. Sometimes, to be honest with you, we used to run a defense in Buffalo. We'd have a call against the backside, depending on if it was the boundary or the field, or just depending on what the matchup was. We would be running cover 2 or cover 4, and somehow they got 3-by-1, especially against the Jets. And this is where, guys make a lot of hay, and we used to do it actually against Austin's Colts. We couldn't do it as much when they had Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer. Yeah. When we had good player, really good player, not so good player, right? We're like, all right, we got you.
But you find the matchup, and
right?
then
When I went to Houston, we could do that because we had Aaron Glenn, Marcus Coleman. We could just play man. Matter of fact, we did it against the Dolphins, and that's how we ended up winning. So what happens is when you're backside 3-by-1, we used to give a call called Clue, and it was just like a hang loose sign. So essentially what that would mean is we would still look cover 2, but then on the snap, he would play more of a head up to inside and then play everything. So the sideline became his over the top helper defender. You get what I'm saying? And so I don't know what happened on that play. That was the first touchdown. And that's, you know what, they got you. You can get beat. They can hit you with a double move. You can kind of,
there's definitely a double move.
That happens. You can bite on a double move. They got it. And potentially they might have been playing against your normal coverage techniques to get that double move. Okay, they got you. What was the down on the goal line is imperative. Yes, I appreciate Tony White saying, okay, this is our, that's what you want, right? As a coach, to be in there, take responsibility and all that. I know as a player, and I'm probably more on the players figuring it out because you're out there so long. You've played so much football together. This is a great opportunity. You have to be on it. You have to be on it. Yes, they came out and they can hide stuff, but it's still the same principles. You still know who's eligible, who's not. You still see a guy at the end of the line of scrimmage, right? First of all, if he's at the short side of the field, they ain't running there with him. If they're going to run, they're going to run to the wide side of the field because they're going to want to try to get an edge if you're destroying them at the line of scrimmage. So I think it was Illinois hit on every trick or tricky play. I think they were aided in that last overtime touchdown by an illegal pick. That's a complete 100% missed call. Okay. We agree on that. That's factual because if you 99% or high 90s% will say, okay, that is. I think you really, really need to focus on what came before that. The long run and overtime. Yes, I understand the second half you tried to get after the quarterback a little bit, but you still, had some guys that, probably needed to have a couple plays back.
It was constant that you could see adjustments being made.
Well, it's a chess match,
right?
But ultimately, you played chess before, right?
Yep.
Okay, and we've all played chess before, or you've just been in a match where you're maybe on your heels, but you also got to make sure that you got to figure it out because I'm a big believer in this. If there's not a perfect, sometimes there's the perfect call for the perfect play, where every call has holes in it. Every single call has holes. Every offensive call has holes in it. There's always a what if. They could catch us here. You always try to minimize the damage. And you got to understand that as a player. And you have to know situational football. I have to minimize damage. I have to understand sometimes if I have a lineman out there and we're out in space, I have to survive until my guys get there and we can rally. That's the next step that if this defense takes, they can go to the next level where you're playing the game within the game and everything is like a small, I guess, they used to have those short movies before they had movies. Every play is like a short movie into the big movie. And the big movie would obviously be the holistic part of the game, the whole time that you're out there as a defense. But the short movies are winning situational football, winning the odd plays, not striking out completely against the tricky plays and making some plays off schedules. Now they did get a couple turnovers. So you like that they had the competitive edge and kept playing, that they didn't give up. And then they got the fumble and gave us a chance to go and win the game. So it wasn't all bad. It's almost like a golfer with their driver. You want to have your worst miss be findable and not in the lake or in the trees. And so
that's the same concept as on your worst day, you got to be 85% plus, right?
Yeah. And, and Illinois was 100% on their best day. That's the best they played. Now they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. They're a good team.
What are they, 18 now?
19, 18, depends. They're a good team. But to win by 7 on the road, they had to play that game because the way that they approached this game, and we had the texter yesterday, they were highly motivated. Those coaches and some of the players knew that was a must-have game for them because Penn State's coming right down the pipe. And so when you're coaching like that, that's why you pull out all stops. They wouldn't do that against Penn State. They know that they had to do this on the road. And those are some of the things you have to learn as a player. You have to look at, again, what do I always say? You look at the coordinator, look at the head coach, you look at the situation that you're going into. You want to go back to last year. You play on the road against Michigan State. We needed to go to the bowl game. It's a very winnable game. They got senior day. They're not throwing for first downs. Everything that new quarterback is that's down in Arizona State, because why is he doing it? He knows he's going into the portal. That kid, right?
Show off.
So he's trying to show off his arm to say, you know what? I have good tape. So you have to understand that as a player. A coach can't always hold your hand and give you 50 million things and say, you got to look, all right, I'm playing the game, dude. Like, understand, these dudes ain't going to just sit there and run 10-yard stops against us. They're trying to go deep. The receivers are trying to go deep. Everybody's trying to go deep. A running back is not going to run out of bounds and try to save the clock. They're going to return almost every single kick. So when we're covering punts, you better know that they're going to try to return every kick because they're going to try to put, film together to get to another school.
Yeah, the coverage side of it is that there's that flaw. And to hear the coordinators both talk about the chess match, that sometimes you have to acknowledge that, you spend more time going back and forth with between the sidelines than you do actually on the field. And that plays a big part of it. And they both got caught up in it.
Yeah.
Tony White talked about the philosophy shift from the first half to the second half for Nebraska. Here's the defensive coordinator.
You knew they were going to run the ball. So again, the first plan is to go out there and make sure they knew that they can't run the ball on you. And so when at the spots we felt like, hey, they're running the ball, we were mixing up the looks and bringing extra guys and stuff. And again, they got whatever it was, 40 yards at the half or something like that. And then just went away from that to try to affect the quarterback a little bit more and get in the rhythm for third downs a little bit more. And like I said, a couple of those runs slice up in there and then had some MAs and all that stuff. So definitely, started mixing it up a little bit more.
When
that happens. I mean, that's in part of what like we talked about yesterday, what makes it look like they were able to really pound the ball was explosive runs. And it's a double explosive run when you do get caught, right? We used to call, got caught, got smacked on the butt. That happens. They're a capable team. They have good players. They're a good team. So they're going to get you sometimes. They're going to call the right call. They're going to win the chess match. They're going to have that move, right? And they're going to, their pawn is going to maybe get one of your jacks or queens or whatever you want to call it. But then guess what happens after? You got a 15-yard face masking penalty. It's uncalled for. If you're coming that close and you got two guys hitting them, get in there and we used to call it get wet. Jump in there and stick your face in there or whatever. No, don't want you to get targeting, but get your pads hot. Get a hit on him. Well, you stuck your hand in there, and you got caught with a 15-yard penalty. So now it's like a double explosive run. That means, and so say the run was 18 yards, and say, I think give or take. Big shout out to my man headed to football practice right there. He already got his mouth guard in and his helmet in there. Yeah,
he's riding down the street,
ready to destroy somebody. Just say in the one run I'm talking about before the play that Hartsock got the 15-yard face mask. Just say that that's a good run, and say they go from just say the 50. Just play with me. Just say the 50 to the 36, right? So then you add 15 more on there. Now they're at the 21. So as a coordinator and as a extension of the coordinator, middle linebacker, I'm like, oh crap! The best thing that we're like field goal or but we're against it now, and it was even deeper than that. I think they were close to like the 12 after that. Like after that penalty. So now you're like, okay, if we have one missed tackle, one phenomenal play, we give up 7 points. Well, if you're at the 30-something yard line or even the 20-something yard line, you have a little bit more leeway, and you can rally to hold them to 3. So that's why when we talked about control the controllables, but you can't, get the, I know MJ Sherman was like, I guess punching at the ball. Dude was on the ground. I don't know what he was punching, but he was punching at the ball. Okay, that's 50.
Literally what it looked like.
He looked like he was punching him.
Yeah.
But he was probably punching.
Well, no, it looked like he was punching at the ball.
Yeah.
Like football IQ, you're looking at, you see he's punching at the ball.
The ref was a little overzealous with that.
Yeah.
Right? But those are the things you would rather not punch at the ball, maybe try to rake it out. Now you're in the moment. He's actually doing what we want to do. They put an emphasis on trying to create turnovers. Can I really get mad at you about it? No, but let's also try to have a little bit of more situational awareness. But with that it's a controversial call. I still don't think, I think if they called it that Illinois didn't get the first down, I don't think there's enough evidence to turn it to a first down. This is the way it usually goes, that it has to be head and shoulders clear that they didn't get it. So now you add 15 more plays. So that was right at the 50.
How is this much happening? And this was the thing that was being talked about in the media box. How are so many of these moments still happening with all the technology that exists?
Because the refs don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, but the whole point is that they should want to be right. Like you can't manage the game.
Because paychecks are on the line.
Well, but to get it right.
But it's not. If you got that call wrong, you get docked. You're not calling big games. That affects your bottom line.
Yeah, but then get it right. You should use that like a player. Get it right.
Yeah, but it doesn't benefit them majority of the time to get it right. Now, if they were full-time employees, sure. They're not full-time employees. That'd be something that they need to address. Maybe have the referee and the ump and maybe the back judge be full-time and everybody else be same with the crew. So then that way they can coach their crew up week in and week out and then be.
Well, don't they work on the same crews now?
No. It can vary.
For the Big Ten. I thought for the Big Ten, there's a collection of officials.
Yeah, but you could be mixing around. You need the guys that you need people that know it's got to be full-time because you have to make sure you have to take that part out of the game.
And there's enough money for them to be full-time. There's enough money. And I know that the rule was, state of Virginia, state of Texas, that they would have the same leaders of a crew. And then you would rotate everybody else so that you don't get into shenanigans.
Yeah.
Same crew working.
Yeah, same games, and you got some personal stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So
it's got to be a little bit more consistent. And I will say this: the refs didn't make or break the game, but I also know that when you watch NFL games, a lot of them you see like, how did that call not get overturned? That's why the rule is in there. It has to be clear and cut for them to overturn it. I don't think they got the first down in that play.
It would be
it would be huge
to get it right.
If you really sat back with like a panel of like 10 refs and be like, all right, I would say that it's Nebraska's ball. Then you got the ball, and even though you have a 15-yard penalty, you start at the 35. Well, they kept the ball. They got the ball at the 35. So a fourth down stop is like sudden change. A fourth down stop is like a big return after a misplaced punt. It's sudden change. Because why they call it sudden change? It's a sudden change in momentum. And so Nebraska was always in the second half, especially the second half, was always behind the chains a lot of the times, and behind in like the momentum category, and was never able to get control of the game even after they got up 24-17.
I do want to say this on behalf of Matt Rule. From my vantage and watching officials with coaches, there's always, and I had this on a panel with some college coaches, and so this is where it comes from. That in every game, one of the coaches has an advantage with the referees. In every single game, it's never 50-50. It's never 50-50. Relationships, veteran coaches tend to have a point. Nick Saban always had there's 3 calls a game that Nick Saban's going to get, or that won't be called against his team simply because. Urban Meyer used to talk about that his coaching value, he knew he was plus 3.5 points because of the way he talked to officials.
Mm-hmm.
And in watching Brett Bielema and Matt Rule, I can tell you that the conversations were different on the Nebraska side than they were on the Illinois side.
What do you mean?
Matt Rule was having to work 4 times as hard as Brett Bielema with the officials. The officials would react and respond.
Yeah.
They, as they say, they tolerated Matt Rule.
But Matt Rule's not a tyrant on there. I know that
Right.
when they can't win.
He was very animated, but Brett Bielema has been in the Big Ten outside of his pit stops in the NFL in Arkansas. Like
Bielema was talking to them.
Yeah.
Bielema.
Yeah, they're on like
Matt Rule
they're
had to pitch and sell. He
They're
had
on,
to do some
yeah,
salesman.
You saying that they're essentially on a 6-pack of beer?
Hey man,
yeah.
It's like, hey Jack, let's get this right, bro. I got you, Bill. I got you. I got you. I got you.
That, that happens also from. And I'll tell this story here. I'll never forget this, man. And I want to look up. During the break, I'm gonna look up this ref. And I always feel like the refs have a hard job. They have the human element, and you can make missed calls, and that's fine. But there's some really bad calls over the history of sports that are really bad. I mean, heck, if you think about the difference of legacies and Super Bowls. The missed offensive pass interference with the Dallas Cowboys, and I think it was Drew Pearson up there at the Met. If you go back and watch the push off, that was horrible. But they've affected the Vikings going to win the Super Bowl. I can almost guarantee.
Is that Nate Wright?
Yeah, and Nate, and he was locked down, and also, a lot of those guys on that team are already in the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of things that go into it, but I also know that like this. I remember playing in Houston. And we weren't going to playoffs that year, but we were really good on defense. And it was like my second. Well, every year we were good on defense. And the rest had been like it was literally 10 penalties to 1, and we weren't a high penalty team. We just weren't very good, especially on offensive. Like offensively, we weren't good. But they had like 2 or 3 pass interferences, and just were giving. Everybody's booing because it's egregious at this point. And I remember there was one ump I'd see him, and I'd talk to him every once in a while. And he looked at me. He's like, "Man," and I was kind of arguing with him. I was like, "Hey, man, did you not just see the dude just tackle me right there? Like, did you not just see him like literally tackle me?" And he pretty much said, like, "Yeah, I saw it," but he's like, "Y'all ain't going to playoffs, so it don't matter." So you ain't get. He said, "You ain't getting that call. Y'all ain't going to playoffs. Y'all ain't good."
Miss me with that.
Yeah. So you know what I did? I just did a bout face, went back to him, and I just was going. I was cussing at him so much that Jamie Sharper had to come into the game and we had to take somebody out of the game and call the defense. I was giving him work. But not saying that happened on Saturday night, but it can be swayed. That's where the human element is. It's not right. And so Nebraska's going to have to fight some of those things.
And it won't happen in every game.
It won't. But you got to play a little bit cleaner. So there should be inspiration to understand. And this also goes into it a little bit with the players. And I know for a fact that from Matt Rule being in the NFL and you get a report, I know this for a fact. This is from experience of being in the NFL and working with the Houston. Every week you get a rundown on the refs, what their tendencies are, what they call, what they do as a crew, what they've done the last 4 weeks. I know that for a fact. I'd be willing to bet that they brought that type of knowledge to college. Like their experience in the NFL for these players. So if they're getting that in their game plan, you got to know what you're doing because they're giving you answers to some of the tests. Like if if Austin is a ump and he's big on, calling, defensive holding, right? There was a time where defensive holding. We knew this, right? So the way that we combated in the NFL, a guy that would do defensive holding, because what happens in defensive holding, if they would try to slip up to the linebacker, you just give them a little tug from the nose guard. So what we did was we changed the way we played our gaps integrity, and it worked out anyways. But we didn't do it until we found out. We only did it with the knowledge of what we had. So if the players are getting these type of knowledge, now this isn't taken away from what DP is saying, but that's how much you have to be. When I talk about you have to be on it, when you play against a good team, when you play against like-minded teams, and really, to be honest with you, for everybody out there, from number 14 to, I'll say this, from number 16's ranked team to 50, it's really not big a difference in teams, and it might be one or two more players. Now, as you start to get up towards 16 from 50, it goes from probably like you probably got 4 to 6 different players than them. But if you have a better team element, you're able to rise up through there. So there's not a big difference in the teams, right? So when you get off the bus, you might be ranked number 18. You might be playing the number, I guess, 40th ranked team. There is no difference. They got big dudes. They got fast dudes. They might not have the depth, but they got good players. So you have to be on it. Everything in the game plan, every situation in the football game, anything and everything can happen. You have to be on it. That's why you have to know situational football. You got to know situational football inside of it. You got to also be able to communicate effectively from a player to a coach. So if DP is my coach and I'm not feeling comfortable with something, I have to forget halftime. You know, everybody's talking about adjustments at halftime. Man, halftime goes by so quick. You can barely go in there and use the bathroom, get a couple Gatorades, get you a couple like orange slices, and you headed back out there. There ain't a lot of like you ain't going over like 50 plays at halftime. You up here thinking like, okay, what did they do? What has hurt us? So to make halftime more efficient, you got to communicate as a player. DP has to know whether, I don't care if he's at the damn box upstairs or on the damn moon. Pick up the phone and call him and say, yo, this is what the hell they're doing. Or
what are you seeing?
Or there's 3 linemen in my damn face. Or the defensive end or linebackers are getting blown the hell off the ball. I can't see as a linebacker. Or if you're a D lineman, you know, if I'm a D lineman, say, hey, look, man, I'm getting double teamed. You better get somebody in downhill and get in there and make some plays. I'm getting double teamed right here.
This isn't working.
That's what needs to happen. That's the adjustment right there. You know what I mean? Take the cotton balls out your mouth, start communicating both ways, and stop sitting here and receiving stuff and waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. Instead of that, go do it. Talk to him. Hey, look, man. Hey, what's going on in cover 4? What are you seeing? I mean, when I came off the field, I was blessed. I had whether it was Jamie Burrow or whatever, we all kind of just met, and then Coach Bo would come over there and be like, hey, you see anything? I was like, well, we already talked about it 8 times, but this is what we saw out there. And then he would relay it to Charlie or George or something.
Well, the on-the-field folks, first of all, the on-the-field leadership, communicating to the people around him that you're working with, the linebacker group, whoever the captain is, communicating with the people on the field, and then communicating that to the coaches who aren't on the sideline. The ones on the sideline is one conversation. But the people up in the booth who have eyes and ears, that's why they're up there. Y'all, that communication line from the booth down to the leadership,
it's got to be both.
Oh
yeah, it's got to be both. I mean, some of the conversations I've had on that dang phone.
Oh,
hey man, I remember one time I called Vic Fangio up. He's like, "What are you seeing?" I just say, "Hey, look, man, whatever you calling it ain't working.
That ain't it.
Do something." Hey, and he was like, "What do you mean?" I just hung that thing up, hung the phone up. And then I was like, then I walked away and I was like, you know what? That probably wasn't the best decision, right? Went, picked up the phone, and I was like, all right, man, I'm calmed down. He was like, okay, well, he's like, then he started going off on me. And he's like, all right, now we're even. So let's figure it out. We end up winning the game, but it was started. So those are the things. Now, I don't know what's going on. I can't say that. But I know that people are talking about adjustments at halftime. What makes halftime more efficient is communication in football or in a lot of things just can't be one way. You can't sit there. It's like it's not. So if DP's the coach, the coordinator, Austin's the linebacker coach, and I'm the player. It's not. It is your job to coach me. It is your job to come up with answers, but it's our job to win the game because we're in it together. Right? We're out there in the damn heat. I guess I'm hitting everybody or whatever, but it's our job. Austin can't help me if I don't help myself and help Austin. Austin can't help DP that's up there looking at a call sheet, trying to communicate through the communication device down to a 19, 20-year-old kid, and the go-between could talk to DP in a different language, which is coaching language about certain things, certain calls, certain situations that you guys have spent probably 60, 70 hours that week talking about the game differently than me in the heat of the battle, because that's where you're the filter
with other stuff on your plate as well.
Right.
Well,
and
asking
you're the filter.
what I'm missing, asking Austin what I'm missing.
Right.
What am I missing? Like, because all the stuff we talked about in film study and at practice, something's missing. So what am I missing? And Austin's ability to fill the gap and clean up the blind spot.
Here's my experience.
Yep.
This is what I'm seeing.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
And it probably did happen, but those are like, when I'm talking about this, I'm giving you like a deep dive on all the things that go on in a game. And that's why people was like, after a game, I don't know how people go out. I used to be exhausted. Like exhausted. Like, yo, you just ran because your mind is going, you're emotionally in the game, you're physically in the game, you're spiritually in the game, you got anxiety, you got, obviously you want to play angry, you got to be on the borderline of crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got to, there are highs and lows of the game. You want to win the game. All this other stuff is going on. And then you got to try to communicate effectively in a high pressure situation when there's 90,000 people in there, but you're really only trying to communicate with 10 of them. I mean, obviously the players that you play with, but in the linebacker room, there's generally about 10 of you guys in there. There's 2 coaches and then 8 players that generally could play. So it's a lot. And so, that's the kind of nullify the whole adjustment things. And you also have to understand that other teams are allowed to make adjustments, and they're going to play better in the second half, because if they didn't play better in the second half, Nebraska wins by 28 points. That's why the games get tighter, because teams are like, number one, either you're playing it, to come back and try to win, or trying to, like in Colorado's case, trying to get something positive leading into next week. A perfect example of making adjustments is if you looked at not this season, but last year, Ohio State, when they played Indiana. Ohio State got up early on Indiana. Well, Indiana changed their whole game plan for Tom Allen not to get beat really, really bad. It wasn't even to win the game, because he knew he wasn't going to win the game. So that's how things can change, and that's how the narrative on, Ohio State's offense, even after the Notre Dame game, wasn't up to standard. And so, I guess we'll take a quick break, come back. You got Marcus Hatfield?
I do indeed.
All right, after this break, we're going to talk about offense, because that's what everybody wants to talk about. Offense. I don't even remember the offense playing. I was so focused on the team. That's a dang shame. Hey, man, I guarantee Tony White gonna see me put me in a headlock. He's like, "Why are you up here watching the defense on?" That's because that's the only thing I know. I know a little offense, but I think the defense could be good enough to where they could have pulled that game out. But it's also a compliment to him. You didn't play well and still had a chance to win, and gave us a chance to win. So, anyways, Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks, and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Nebraskans are proud of their public schools. Hi, I'm Tim Royers. As a Nebraska Teacher of the Year, I traveled across the state and saw the value public schools bring to our communities every day. They're where our kids get the skills and opportunities they need to succeed. They're where families come together to enjoy a musical, cheer for our teams, talk with teachers, and build trusted relationships. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G35609 must trade.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate.
I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
If you're looking for tickets to the Colorado game, 93.7 The Ticket has you covered. There are 3 different ways. Now.
Still using that old, outdated office phone system? You need better. At Hamilton, we offer solutions for the modern office. Whether you have an office full of staff or your employees work remotely and are on the go, seamless call handling is important. Elevate your communication and connect seamlessly with clients and staff with Hamilton Business Phone Systems. Choose better and hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Old School with DP and J.
And, this part of camp it happens in high school camp, when they have a certain amount of time before their game, before school starts and all that. And then it happens in college and it happens in the pros. I had more fights with some of my good friends, the guys that I'm considered lifelong friends at this point in camp, than with some over-energized rookie trying to make a name for himself. Seriously.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, second segment. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, Old School Coordinator Edition. Dove into Tony White, communication, or I guess my experience of communication. And some situations with referees and how things are done. See a lot in basketball too, DP. See a young upstart coach has no conversation with the veteran officials, and that's just part of being familiar with them. But then also it should be respectful and respect everybody's opinion, because ultimately there's a lot of lives and families, not lives, but jobs and families on the line based on them doing the job and doing it without, without the buddy list, I guess I'll call that, right?
It's always those. We would always pay attention before games, during warmups, especially in basketball, right? Because the conversations were different. There are some coaches that are distracted. There's some coaches that are fully engaged. It's back pats and high fives and fist bumps. And
Yeah.
How you doing? How's the wife? How are the kids? All those things that are going on. And if I watch that, I would simply be professional, walk over, introduce myself or reintroduce myself, offer the hand, and then go do my job and say, I can't control what some official
is going to
do. I have zero control over their relationship, what it is. Because sometimes, and this is what I also found out, sometimes the best thing for me was to shut up, because the other coach's reputation was so bad
Yeah.
that all I could do was mess things up.
Yeah.
Like if I just
let
stay
it
out of the
happen.
way, let that.
Yeah, sometimes you just let it happen, and then you just go from there. But
It's like, oh, you mad at him? Okay.
yeah, that wasn't the conversation I thought it was. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you just gotta let it go and do his thing. But ultimately, the best equalizer is playing
Which
good.
which of those coaches are you, Jay?
I'll say what's up to the refs and stuff. I look, man. When coaching AAU, I know they got a hard job. They do. They want NBA officials with instant replay in a high-paced game, a very physical game. So I kind of let them do their thing.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you see some refs come in and they try to, they check. I call it ranking check. So they, we're kind of new on the scene and independent. So they'll try to get the benefit of the doubt. But I'll call them on it. And then one dude, I called him. I said, "Hey man, I know your buddy is coaching over there." He looked at me and I was like, "Yeah, I saw you guys at Chipotle. I know that's your buddy." I said, your buddy, that ain't stopping out there. I said, this is too high skilled a basketball to have 10 fouls to 1. It's just humanly impossible. I just always kind of go on humanly impossible. So, anyways, now let's jump into the offense and see what Marcus Satterfield had to say about the offense.
Do you want run game or the 3rd and 3 call?
What 3rd and 3 call is everybody asking about?
The pass to Lindenmeyer that led to the missed field goal.
Well, what's wrong? What was wrong with the call?
People didn't like it. Marcus Satterfield was asked about it.
All right, let's see what he said.
Hey, can you shed some light or go into the decision on the 3rd and 3 play at the end of regulation and just your choice of personnel there? Is it specifically kind of just as simple as making them think you're going to run when you plan to have 4 guys going out for a pass?
Exactly. We got in a big personnel group and it was 3rd and 3. In my mind, they're thinking we're probably going to take 2 downs. I thought, we've never thrown the ball out of that personnel in 2 years. So we've been working, certain pass plays out of that personnel. I felt very comfortable. Even if they played normal defense, we had options for Dylan to get to. So if it was on the sheet, we knew we were going into it. If we got in that situation, we were going to call it, and we dialed it up. And the next time we'll hit it.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the play call. I mean, everybody's mad because it didn't get complete, but Borkature was open. The personnel doesn't have anything to do with it because it's a planned personnel. It's no different if you do tackle eligible. It's planned. If that dude drops the tackle eligible pass, I'm sure Brett Bielema was getting why'd you throw it to an offensive tackle? Funny enough, the Commanders did that last night. Do a tackle eligible play. It's copycat league. Even the pros watch the college and they get it going. But I didn't have a problem with it. I know Lindenmeyer is a good player. He's a good player. He can catch and stuff. So probably a step and a half to ahead of him. Probably like to have it back. I don't have a problem with it.
I do.
Like what? Why?
It falls. Jay, you've been in the coaching rooms where somebody goes in a critical moment. In a critical moment,
right?
What I do not want to hear in a critical moment to win a game, to win the game, is to go, you know what we ought to run here?
All right.
It means you don't know what you're supposed to run there.
Well, he said he'd been practicing it, so they know they're going to run it.
Had you run it in games before?
But that's the whole point of not running in the games. Though. If you run it in the game, you can't run it.
If you have on 3rd and 3.
But okay,
3rd and 3, right?
So if he catches the ball, what's the conversation?
3rd and 3.
If he catches the ball, what's the conversation?
The conversation is never the result. It is
the result.
No,
he
it's
didn't
always
catch the
the
ball.
result.
Right.
It's always
so if he
the
catches,
result.
So then you're saying it's a good call.
What's a good play? A play that works. Right?
The one that if he's a step, if there's no telling what it's going to work though. Judging it after, if you say it's not a good play call, that's one thing. There's 3 guys open, so you can't say it's not a good play call. You can't really say it wasn't executed. You just didn't catch it.
3rd and 3.
On top of missing a field goal.
Was the down and distance? Was the 3rd and 3? Is that what we're talking about?
And that's high pass.
3rd and 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a cultural situation where you have success on a regular and consistent basis,
right?
You know that there are 8 plays that we run on 3rd and 3 where we have a long resume of success.
It's the third game of the season, but it's the 3rd game of the season, though.
We have a percentage.
But there is not enough percentage at the 3rd game of the season to have 8 plays of success.
2 plays.
You don't have
3
You
plays.
don't have anybody that you can throw the ball up and you're going to guarantee to win it.
I'm just gonna say this. I would hope that you have some plays from earlier in the game which show you at this down and distance, here's where we're going to be successful. I'm cool with whatever magic you have in your bag.
But it's not magic. But
Go in your bag. You hadn't run it. You hadn't run it.
But
you hadn't run it in a game situation. You hadn't run it in a 3rd and 3 situation.
But you're making my point. But you're making my point. Was the play run effectively? Was the people open? So okay. So if like Stephon,
doesn't matter if he was
hold on. So if Stephon Diggs last year, 63 yards, that play, right, was only ran 2 times in 3 years. So he drops the ball, and he's the one of the top receivers.
He's no longer there.
So how?
He's no longer there.
So
because if he makes that catch, he's still still Buffalo.
It's not about that though. So he dropped the ball though.
You get that it in the conversations that we're having. I generally, as a rule, like to stay away from play calls as the point of debate because I'm not at practice. I don't know how many times they've run that. I don't know how many times it worked at practice. I don't know. I just don't know. For 3rd and 3, if this was 3rd and 9, 3rd and 13, 3rd and whatever,
right?
3rd and 3 is a makeable play in every good offensive program in the country. Fair?
Sure.
Right? Austin, find me the percentage of makes on 3rd and 3.
For Nebraska?
For anybody. Nebraska's point would be if you went to the last 2 years or the last 15 games.
So what you're saying is you wanted to go 4 down territory and get 2 plays for 3.
That's what I would do.
Why? Why though?
Because success numbers will say that in 2 rushes or 2 plays offensively, I'm going to get 3 yards in those
the way that
at a higher percentage, at a higher rate than 3rd and 3 by itself.
Okay, so this is from the 2020 season is the most recent I'm finding. 3rd and 2 or less, offenses converted 67% of the time.
Okay.
3rd and between 3 and 4 yards, 52%.
Okay.
Between 5 and 6, 42.5%. 3rd and 7 or 8, 36%. 3rd and 9 or 10, 31.4%.
So your tendency and your decision should be based on a higher percentage, a higher likelihood that we are going to make this play or that we have the play in play. Now, again, Satterfield knew exactly what he wanted. You just said he knew what he wanted. I'm cool with that. All I'm saying is I like my chances. 2 downs to get 3 yards to win a football game.
Right.
I like for a team that
you like your chances after they lost to talk about it.
No.
Hold on.
Literally,
the play was wide open.
Literally in the game. Literally, this is the thing I can say clearly. I'm sitting next to several people in the game, and as we're talking about it, the first question I asked was, "Is this 4 down?"
Okay, let me ask you this: you go for 2 downs, you don't get it. I guarantee you, they're gonna ask you why you ain't passed the ball.
Of course they did.
Okay,
they're going to ask you why you can't. One, they're going to ask, how come your offensive line can't move people for 3 yards
because
on 2 tracks?
Because they'll tell you they're selling out to stop
especially
they
when
are telling you they're trying to stop the run.
They were in
if
the
you
same
run it
defense,
twice.
They were in the same defense where you had just put up a 6-yard gain, 7-yard gain, 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain, 2-yard gain,
which tells you. After the last one, they've made adjustments.
Okay, so
that means if you get 2, I'm just telling you what would have happened.
If you get 2 yards and it's 4th and 1,
okay, and then you get stopped.
Austin, what's the success rate for 4th and 1?
Give me a moment here.
But this is an idiotic conversation because
you started it.
But no, it's not because you're judging a play that they didn't complete. Then you say I needed 2 more plays. Well, you had a 40-yard field goal. that's probably more makeable that you should be able to make a 40-yard field goal. So it's like, okay, well, you should have ran 2 yards to get 3. And then what? Then you run 3 more plays and you miss a field goal. Then you say, well, why didn't you try? Then you're going to say, why didn't you try for an end zone?
No, I'm consistent. I'm really consistent in doing the smartest thing all the time. If I'm Alabama Nick Saban and I've got
You got different personnel.
I've got different personnel, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Nebraska. We're talking about an offense that you're trying to build some culture. And you said we want to be the most physical team on the field. We want to be successful late in games. You literally spent all of your play calls for the course of the game to set up so that you're in better shape, you're better conditioned, you're more physical, you'll be able to move people late in games because that's Big Ten football. Literally from the mouth of Matt Rule. So if that's what you're building and you're chasing 3 points, 3 yards, whatever, there's your 3. You literally built your whole offseason promotion on marketing on chasing 3. And here's the 3 staring you right in the face. And if you decided that you had to dance rather than fight, pass rather than throw, literally the sake of this thing, I would have hoped. And it's just me. I'm fine.
So they just they went 5.
I'm fine being wrong.
Then 2, right?
Then
you're saying run it 4 straight times.
I'm perfectly fine with winning a football game.
No, it's not. No guarantee you're going to win. Then you have to play the other game. Say they don't get it.
There's no guarantee that throwing the ball
right
to your fifth best receiver was a high percentage play.
So
right? Because that's your playmaker.
Are you saying throw it to your receiver? Or are you saying now you're just saying, okay, we got to throw it to a guy? Or are you mad at the play? Because that's 2 different things. Because Nick Saban doesn't coach like that. He coaches players because he has the players. So he has all those first-round picks out there. Or do you say, you know what, I need a better play?
So to run, here's what I would ask you as a coach. That if you need a play made on the biggest play of the game, offensive play of the game, and you decide that throwing the ball is going to be the best option, are you going to make the decision to throw it to your 6th best receiver or no?
I'm going to call the play that we don't got anybody over there that you can sit up there that you can't even say that's a dog.
And if that's the case, then you probably should run it.
Okay, and then
if you don't have a guaranteed
well, they just
thing,
ran it, right?
If you don't have a guaranteed thing, you were averaging 5.5 yards a carry that drive.
Yeah, okay. They ran 5 yards a carry. Okay, that's fine for that drive. Yeah. All I want to know was the play open.
What they average
That's all
for the
I
game.
want to know.
Austin, what did they average for the game?
On running the ball?
Running the ball.
I had it pulled up, and I don't have it pulled up.
Right? It was 4+. Right? At least I think it was. And again, listen, Satterfield knows his squad. He knows the vibe of the game, the blood of it. He understands all of it. He was in it. He goes to practice. They run this stuff.
Nebraska average, it's tough to tell with sacks. So I'll just give you that. Dante Dowdell averaged 3.6 yards per carry. Ramir averaged 4.3.
Okay.
Right at 4.
What would be considered smart football is that in those 2 rushes, I should be able to generate 3 yards and then reset and then do what I want to do, which should be to finish the game. I'm cool. Jay, I've been around a lot of coaches who have this thing in their hip pocket. They have this thing in their utility belt, and they're waiting to use it. And it looks good, and it sounds good in theory. But then when you pull the trigger and it doesn't work, you have to expect that people are going to ask, why didn't you do the other thing? That's part of the gig. If it works, you're a star.
That's what
if
you
get.
If
it works,
that's what
you're
you
a
said.
star.
But
if
I'm not. But I'm not a reporter though.
If you didn't,
I'm not a reporter. I go on my experiences of playing in the games. So I'm looking at was the play effective. Like if you drop a ball, like look, I can tell you this right now. 96, somebody dropped the ball. He's one of the top receivers.
Fair.
Like the play was good. We didn't catch it. You know what I'm
we
saying?
didn't catch the ball. We didn't catch the ball. We didn't make the kick. We didn't make the field goal. We didn't make the tackle to get off the field. We reached wrong. Bad technique with the hands.
I agree with you. Yeah, you probably could have ran it.
Right.
Okay,
Bad
I get
technique
it.
with
You
the
could-
hands.
You could have ran it.
There's
Sure.
always an excuse for everybody. If you need it.
don't win.
Yeah, if you don't win.
Yeah, if you don't
guess
win,
what?
there's gonna
People
be a lot of
question
questions.
you.
Right.
People are gonna question you. I'm not even questioning. I'm just saying there was another option, and right or wrong, you chose what you chose, and you
Right.
got the result you get. You're responsible for the result you get.
Yeah, they got. I mean,
Right?
And I look at it a lot different because I'm a big cause and effect. We are not having this conversation. You're nitpicking on that stuff. We're not even having this conversation if we play up to our capabilities.
I wouldn't even bring up Satterfield because playmakers make plays and people don't.
But we're not having this conversation if the defense plays to their capabilities.
100%.
That's more important than a one play out of 120 play game. I can promise you, as God is the witness, the most important thing is fixing what we did not do right as a veteran defense more than that play. Because
when did I say that
no,
wasn't
I'm not
true?
saying that because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how I look at the game. Because we're not there if if we don't have guys running wide open, if we're not missing tackles, if we're not getting for 60 something yards or maybe 75 yards in flagrant penalty, whatever those things are called, right?
Right.
We're not having this conversation.
Right.
So that's the more bigger thing to me.
I don't disagree with that. You played the clip about Satterfield and what he said.
Right.
The answer, you asked me the question whether I thought this man.
No, I didn't ask.
Well, here's the thing.
It was telepathy.
Okay.
I didn't get to ask you. You could go ahead and read my mind.
Well, here's the thing. My hope is that he gets them all right. That's not possible. Certainly not likely. But from somebody that's also been in those situations where you have to make those play calls offensively, you know what I want to do? I want to put the ball in the hands of people who can produce in those moments. Big players, big plays. Primetime players make primetime plays in primetime moments. You came up short.
Yeah.
Okay. Get it right next week. But as you do it, if you ask me about that play call, I like the physicality of being able to run, especially for Big Ten football, the ability to get 3 yards and 2 carries, no matter when it is, no matter where it is, no matter who it's against. If I haven't set it up that I can get 3 yards on the ground and 2 carries, I have far greater issues than all the other stuff. It is a condition to bad football. If you cannot get 3 yards and 2 carries, I don't care what defense is on the other side. You have some other issues to deal with.
Yeah, I mean it's I look at if you're a coordinator, you gotta be who you are.
Oh, he 100%.
You gotta be who you are. Don't appease anybody next week. Don't do that.
Get me a program that has a fullback with a hammerhead that can lead block and a power running back behind it and a quarterback who can pull it and get me 3 yards.
You want the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey man, I told you that.
You are officially a Ravens fan. So your friends that are listening out there in the DMV, DP is not coming back. He just told on himself. It only took 2 hours and 2 minutes. He just told on himself. He is a Ravens fan. He's deep down a Ravens fan.
Let Chancellor Brewington come in here and do his thing.
Anyway, Jay Foreman, DP, we're out of here.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Powersports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Nebraskans are proud of their public schools. Hi, I'm Tim Royers. As a Nebraska Teacher of the Year, I traveled across the state and saw the value public schools bring to our communities every day. They're where our kids get the skills and opportunities they need to succeed. They're where families come together to enjoy a musical, cheer for our teams, talk with teachers, and build trusted relationships. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a